Hi, and welcome to the Artcraft Lab creation tutorial. In this video, I'll show you how to set up and use your wedding planner spreadsheet in the most efficient way. I'm demonstrating in Google Sheets, but the Excel version works exactly the same. We've protected most cells containing formulas so you don't accidentally erase something important that could affect how the spreadsheet works. If you see a message saying the cell is protected, it means it's not meant to be edited. No need to worry, I'll guide you step by step through preparing your spreadsheet. And if you accidentally click on a locked cell, just hit the X to exit and you'll be fine. We've also used a color code to make it easy to see which cells you can edit and which you can't. You can only edit cells with a white background. All colored cells are locked. One more important thing. Please don't move cells from one place to another. Doing so could break the spreadsheet's automation. If you need to move information, copy and paste it instead. Now I'll walk you through my all-in-one wedding planner spreadsheet. It's designed so that once you fill in information here, it automatically updates in the right places across all the other sheets. No double work needed. Let's start with the Setup tab. This is where you add your wedding's main information: groom's name, bride's name, wedding date, and the location. You can also set your currency for budgeting purposes. And right here, you'll see the countdown of days until your wedding. On this, there is navigation table. This isn't just a list. Each item is a hyperlink that takes you directly to the matching sheet. For example, clicking on Guest List will open the Guest List sheet instantly. The first table is linked to the Guest List sheet. Any information you fill in here will automatically be added there. You can add guest tags, either using the blank spaces or replacing the examples, along with meal choices, dietary restrictions, who they're assigned to, and whether they're a guest of the bride or groom. The next table connects to the wedding party, wedding registry, and wedding budget sheets. Here you can enter details like roles, gift categories, expense categories, who's paying, and the vendor. You can update or add this information anytime and it will instantly reflect in the connected sheets, making your planning much easier. Let's take a look at the wedding dashboard. First, you can place your picture here by going to Insert, Picture, Image over Cell. Beside it, you'll see a small calendar. Simply select your wedding date, and then you can highlight your wedding date. Just below the calendar, there are 5 summary boxes. These show the total number of confirmed guests, total invitations sent, total guests, seats already occupied, and the total number of tables. On the top, you'll also see the wedding budget. This budget automatically updates as you fill in expenses in other sheets. That's the beauty of this dashboard. Most of it fills automatically based on the data you add elsewhere. Next, we have the graph summaries. These include the expense breakdown, invitation distribution, save the date status, budget breakdown, and vendor contract prices. All of these update in real time as you add your details. Finally, at the bottom, there's the timeline and upcoming deadlines table. This keeps track of how many tasks are left to complete based on your wedding planning schedule. So in one glance, you can see your wedding progress, budget, guest count, and tasks all in one place. This is the wedding task timeline sheet. It's organized by when tasks need to be done, from 12+ months before the wedding all the way to 1 to 2 weeks before the wedding. Here's how each column works. Task, the main job to be done. It's pre-filled, but you can add your own too. Note, any extra details or reminders. Assigned to is a drop-down where you can choose bride, groom, or both. You can also add more names in the setup sheet under the Assigned to section. Deadline. Double-click to bring up a small calendar and pick the due date. Priority. Choose from low, medium, or high. Status. A checkbox that, when ticked, will automatically cross out the task so you know it's complete. The tasks are already sorted into timelines, so you can just go through and update them to match your own wedding plan. Wedding vendor. Next, we have the wedding vendor sheet, where all your vendor options are listed. Catering, venue, cake, and more. The wedding vendor sheet includes 14 pre-filled vendor categories and 7 empty tables ready for you to customize with your own vendors. This gives you a mix of ready-to-use options and flexibility to add any unique services you need for your wedding. Let's fill one out together. For example, under catering, you can enter the vendor's name, contact details, email, price, services included, and any notes. Once you've compared all your options, simply check the box for the vendor you've chosen. It will automatically highlight in green and be added to the summary section for all vendors. There's also a blank slot where you can add your own vendor category. As you fill in the details, the graphs above update automatically. The first pie chart shows cost comparison, how much each vendor represents in your total expenses, while the second compares the contract prices between vendors. Moving towards the Budget tab. Managing the budget is a crucial part of wedding planning, and much like in any other project, staying within it can be challenging. This tab is designed to be your trusted guide, helping you monitor and control your spending. Planned budget, the total spent, remaining budget, and amount unpaid. Below that is the Wedding Budget Contributor section. Here you can list contributions from different sources, for example, money you've saved yourself, help from parents, or gifts from friends. Then we have the Wedding Budget section, where you set the total amount you plan to spend on your wedding. We have 3 tables here. The Expense Category table, which tracks individual wedding expenses, who paid them, and whether they are fully settled. The Vendor Expense table, which lists cost for each vendor along with payment details and due dates, and the Expenses by Category table, which summarizes planned versus actual spending for each category to monitor budget performance. Let's start with the Expense Category table. Double-click in the Date column to select a date from the calendar. Choose the Expense category from the drop-down. If it's not listed, you can add it in the Setup page. In Paid By, pick who covered the expense. You can also add more names in Setup. Then enter the actual cost and amount paid. The difference calculates automatically. Next, the Vendor Expense table. Most details here are filled automatically from the Vendor Information tab. You just enter the amount paid, paid by, due date, and paid date. When you tick that box, that vendor's expense is marked complete. Finally, the Expenses by Category table. Here you'll see the planned budget, actual budget, and difference for each category. This gives a clear view of where you're over or under budget. Up above, the paid, left to pay, and left to spend numbers update instantly, and the budget graph refreshes automatically as you fill in these tables. Next, we have Wedding Itinerary Sheet. It's a simple but super powerful tool to organize your big day and all the events around it. This is your wedding itinerary. The first table is filled as an example, with time, event, location, person in charge, and notes. Below that, there are 7 blank tables so you can plan each day separately, like pre-wedding, wedding day, or post-wedding events. You can also use them for things like a guest arrival schedule or vendor confirmations. At the top, just double-click the heading to pick the date for that day, and then easily fill your tables. This is the Packing List tab. It helps you make sure nothing is forgotten for the wedding. At the top, you'll see Wedding Weekend Essentials and Ceremony and Reception Must-Haves. You just type in the item, assign who it's for, the person in charge, and add any notes. Once you check the box, it means the item is packed, and it automatically becomes strike-through, so you know it's done. Next, we have the Bride's Personal Kit and the Groom's Personal Kit. This section keeps track of smaller essentials like makeup, perfume, rings, or cufflinks. Scrolling down, there's also a section for the bridal party essentials. Here you can list things like matching robes, thank you cards, or emergency snacks. And finally, the honeymoon packing list. This is where you add travel items like passports, airline tickets, swimsuits, chargers, and anything else for the trip. For example, if we add passport under honeymoon and assign Emily as the person in charge, once it's in the luggage, we just click the box, and it's crossed out. This way you can easily see what's ready and what's still pending across all sections. This is the wedding venue sheet. The first table is for the basic venue information. Here you can fill in the venue name, email, website, contact, and address. Next, there's a contact table where you can record the main contact person, their phone number, email, website, and address again if needed. After that, you'll find the capacity table. This is where you note the guest capacity for seated and standing events, along with parking availability. The next section is for availability. Comes the venue cost breakdown. This table includes all the possible fees, such as the main venue fee, site fee, ceremony and reception fees, setup and cleanup fees, overtime, security, service charges, corkage fees, kitchen access, insurance, and even power or lighting fees. Below that, you'll see the cost and payment table, where you can enter the total venue cost, deposit amount, and deposit due date. Next is the catering options table. Here you can specify whether the venue has in-house catering, if outside catering is allowed, the alcohol policy, and kitchen access. Finally, there's a limitations table where you can list curfew times, noise restrictions, decor restrictions, and cleanup requirements. You'll have 6 of these venue tables to fill out, and at the end, there is a winner venue table where you can finalize your choice after comparing all the options. This is the Wedding Party tab. At the top, you'll see spaces for the groomsmen and bridesmaids. Here you can list each person's name, their role, which side they're on, phone numbers, outfit status, and any responsibilities or notes. This keeps everyone's details in one place so nothing is missed. Next is the transport section, where you can organize pickup locations, times, vehicle assignments, driver contacts, and notes. This helps make sure everyone knows how they're getting to each event. Finally, there's a hair and makeup schedule. You can list the person's name, the service they need, their time slot, the assigned artist, location, and any notes. This way, the entire wedding party knows when and where they need to be ready. This is the wedding contact sheet. At the top, you'll find the couple's contact section, where you can list important roles, names, relationships, phone numbers, emails, and any notes. This makes it easy to have all key people's details in one place. Next is the vendor contact info. This table is automatically fetched from your vendor sheet, so you don't need to type anything here. Since it's a colored table, it's not editable. It simply gives you a quick overview of vendor names, contacts, prices, and the services included. Finally, there's a section for emergency or backup contacts, where you can add people you may need to reach in case of last-minute issues. This ensures you always have the right numbers and emails handy on your wedding day. This is the Wedding Registry tab. Here you can organize all your gift wishes in one place. Start by choosing a category for each item from the drop-down menu. If a category is missing, you can add it in the setup page, and it will appear in the list. Next, fill in the item name, price, priority, and quantity desired. There's also space to track how many items you've already received, the store where it's available, and who the gift is from. In the same table, there's a purchased checkbox. When you tick it, the item will automatically be crossed out with a strike-through, showing that it's complete. Finally, there's a column for thank you notes, so you can easily track when you've sent appreciation to each guest. Then there is food and drink, which helps you manage all of your catering details in one place. At the very top, you'll find 2 quick reference tables, caterer info and bartender info, where you can enter the company name, contact number, email, website, and address. Right next to these tables, you'll notice an automated chart. This chart updates in real time as you start filling in menu options below. It gives you a clear visual snapshot of your selections for appetizers, main courses, beverages, desserts, and dietary options for both the rehearsal dinner and the reception. This way you can instantly compare categories and see a breakdown of what's been chosen without needing to scroll down through the entire sheet. Below, the sheet is divided into 2 main sections, rehearsal dinner and reception. Each section contains 5 categories: appetizers, main course, beverages, desserts, and dietary options. Within every category, there are 3 option tables side by side. Each option can include multiple dishes with space to enter tasting scores, ratings, unit price, quantity, and total cost. On the far right side of each row, there's a selected checkbox. When you tick it, the item will automatically appear in the summary box, which displays all chosen dishes and their costs. This helps you compare rehearsal dinner and reception menus side by side, track total spending, and visualize everything through the chart at the top. Guest sheet. This sheet keeps track of all your guest information and provides automatic summaries at the top. At the very top, the guest distribution tables update automatically as you fill in the guest list. They show the totals for the bride's guests, groom's guests, combined guests, and confirmed guests. Beside these, automated charts give you a clear snapshot of invitation status, save the dates, meal selections, and dietary restrictions. Below is the main guest info table, where you can manage all the details for each guest. You'll start by entering the guest number, who they are a guest of, their name, and any tags or groups they belong to. There's also a column for the number of children, so families can be grouped together. Next is the address section, where you can record apartment numbers, street, city, state or province, country, and zip code. This makes it easy to keep everything organized for mailing invitations. You'll also find contact information fields like email and phone, so you can follow up quickly if needed. The table section lets you assign guests to specific tables, while the meal choice and dietary restrictions columns ensure catering is planned correctly. Notes can be added for any extra details. There are also fields to track accommodations and gifts, making it simple to manage where guests are staying and what they've given after the wedding. Finally, the invitation section keeps track of whether a save the date was sent, if the invitation went out, and whether the RSVP has been received. As you fill in this table, all the totals and charts above update automatically, giving you a complete real-time overview of your guest list. Seating plan. This sheet helps you manage your seating plan easily. At the very top, you'll see the summary section. It shows the total number of confirmed guests, how many seats are already occupied, the total number of seats available, and how many guests are still waiting to be seated. This summary updates automatically as you assign guests to tables. Below the summary, the first table is the table list. It displays every table, head table through table 21. Each row shows the capacity of the table and how many guests are currently assigned. The assigned column updates automatically as you fill in guest names in the seating tables. After the table list, you'll see individual tables starting from the head table down to table 21. Each of these tables has space to enter guest name and their RSVP status, attending or not attending. As soon as you type in guest names here, the assigned count in the table list refreshes instantly. On the right-hand side, there's a guest filter by tags. If you select a tag such as Bride's Family, only guests with that tag will appear. You can then assign those filtered guests into any table. If you want to remove or move a guest, simply highlight their name, press backspace to clear it, and add them to another table. This way, the table list and the summary section always stay updated, giving you a clear view of how many guests are placed and how many are still waiting to be seated. Wedding music sheet. This sheet organizes all your wedding music. At the top, the sheet is divided into sections for ceremony, reception, rehearsal dinner, and post-reception celebration. Each section is laid out in a table with these headings: play during, the moment when the song will play, song title, artist, and notes. Simply fill in the songs under each section. The structure ensures every key moment, from the bride's entrance to the last dance, has music planned and ready. Wedding photography. Next, we have the wedding photography sheet, where you can keep track of every photo you want captured on your big day. This sheet is already divided into 5 sections: pre-wedding or getting ready, ceremony, formal portraits, reception, and post-wedding or creative shots. Each section comes with a pre-filled list of must-have shots, such as the bride getting ready, the groom's reaction, first kiss, family portraits, cake cutting, and sunset portraits. For each shot, you'll see columns for the description, people involved, notes, and whether it's been marked as included.
You can also use the Assigned To column to note which photographer or assistant is responsible for a specific shot. To use it, simply review the list, add or edit any shots that are unique to your wedding, and tick the boxes as photos are taken. This way, you'll have a complete checklist that ensures no special moment is missed. Wedding photos. Next, we have the Wedding Photos sheet, which is designed to be your gallery tracker. This sheet gives you one place to organize and store all the photos from your wedding. You can add photo, so everything stays neatly arranged in one spot. Insert photos directly into the sheet. Click into the cell where you want the picture. Go to the top menu, Insert, Image, Insert Image over Cell. Thank you and Gifts sheet. At the top, the summary shows the total number of guests who gave gifts, the total cash received, and the total number of gifts. These numbers update automatically as you fill in the table below. Beside it, you'll find a gift distribution chart and a thank you sent chart, which update in real time as you enter data. In the main gift table, the guest name automatically pulls from the guest list of those attending the wedding. In the gift type column, select from a dropdown, cash or gift. If it's cash, enter the received amount in the amount column. For gifts, select the gift category from the dropdown, or type a new one if it's not listed. Use the Thank You Sent column to mark yes or no to track who has received a note. On the right-hand side, there are filters for gift category, amount paid, and Thank You Sent. You can use these filters to quickly find specific groups of guests. For example, if you select Gift, set the amount range to $1,000 to $5,000, and filter Thank You Sent equal Yes, the table will instantly show only the guests that match these conditions. Honeymoon budget. At the very top, there's a summary box that updates automatically as you enter data. It includes initial budget, set by you at the start, left to budget, and total expenses, automatically calculated based on spending. Honeymoon dates, start and end dates, which you can enter manually. Next is the budget summary table. Here you assign the actual budget for each category: flights, accommodation, food, etc. The actual spent column updates automatically from the transactions you log, and the percentage shows how much of your total budget has been used. Below that, there are two key tables for tracking: Honeymoon Spending Log, which records daily expenses, showing how much was spent each day and how much budget remains, and Honeymoon Transaction Tracker, where you can enter each transaction in detail. You can add the date, amount, select the category from a dropdown, flight, accommodation, food, etc., and add a note for context. On the right-hand side, there's a currency exchange calculator. First, select the From Country and To Country from drop-down lists. All countries are included. Once selected, the correct currency symbol and exchange rate automatically appear. In the Amount field, you can enter the domestic amount, e.g. $3,000, and it will instantly be converted into the target currency, such as USD. Then there's the Travel Arrangement table, where you can quickly note traveler details and booking info. Next is the Booking table, with all the hotel and payment details in one place. And lastly, the Travel Itinerary, to plan your trip day by day with dates, times, and locations. Everything you need to manage your trip in one sheet. Save the date. In this tab, you'll find two different Save the Date invitation designs. Just pick the one you like, then click the print icon. A page will open where you can adjust the settings. Select selected cells, choose your paper size, set it to portrait, and fit it to one page. Now your design looks perfect, ready to print and send to your guests.
Thank you for watching this tutorial. If anything is unclear, don't hesitate to reach out. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss future updates.